One of the other products that come with the WSTech, you can buy it as a kit, is the LPD receiver. Very simple to use. It's already programmed in for channel 1. You can change the channels very simply. You can change the channels on the DataVario very easily as well to match up this in case you've got other flyers out there using the same piece of kit. Just going back to the GPS. The GPS is very handy for giving you some real critical functions that you can look at, and especially if you're talking about the F3Js or the F3B people especially. It doesn't just give you the ground speed and it gives you a ground position. It can also give you a glide ratio. Now that glide ratio, you must attain it after 100 seconds of flight. Or every 100 seconds of flight, it gives you a glide ratio. So if you were doing setting up an F3B glider and you wanted to find out your lift over drag ratio, well then you can set your glider up and check it with a known ground speed, and also using the altimeter together will give you that glide ratio. So you can play around with your trim to get the optimum performance out of, for instance, your thermal duration, which is going to give you your F3J characteristics, or perhaps the first task of an F3B. Also with the GPS, it can give you GPS coordinates of your glider or whatever aircraft you're using it in. Now here's the catch with the GPS. You must fly the aircraft more than 10 metres above the ground so that the device itself knows it's within a flight. And then when it lands, or let's say for instance you have an accident, you lose control of the glider, or it flies out of range and you want to get it back. Once it's stationary on the ground for more than 2 minutes and it doesn't gain or lose 8 metres of altitude within that period of 2 minutes, the device will then send out the GPS coordinates to your LPD monitor. That'll allow you to plug it into a TomTom or look at it on Google Earth, and you'll be able to find the exact GPS coordinates of where your glider was last known, its last known position. And if it hasn't moved for 2 minutes, chances are it's not hovering. Again, back with the current sensor, this gives you a lot of other functions as well. Let's look. There's a motor battery voltage. That's great for monitoring exactly what your pack's got in it and how much is going through the sensor when you're actually using it. This is going to give you the ability to then set the alarm. The alarm itself, which is set to either 3.3 or 3.5 volts, I run 6 cells, so that's 21 volts. That is my alarm voltage, which is being detected, and that's when I get advised of a need to change batteries and get it upon my next landing. It also gives you current consumed, so you might switch the engine on, climb to your altitude, shut the motor down. You might want to know how much current you've actually used. You can add these up and it gives you a total battery capacity remaining. If you mix this in with your climb rate, you're also going to know how much capacity you are drawing for a given climb rate. This might not matter for some competition purposes because the batteries have more than enough capacity to handle it, but if you're doing an electric cross country, this may be critical for you.